Hello, my dear friend. So, this is day 36 of the storm experiment. No seed oils, no meat, no animal food products, no highly processed foods, barefoot walking in the jungle, and exercise. So, as you can see, it's obvious I didn't go to the jungle today because, I was willing to finish some work today. So, I. I was also waiting for some a package to be delivered to me today. I ordered something yesterday. I ordered a book and all, so I was quite excited for that. And I also wanted to plan out some other things that I need to do to balance out mm my work and my workouts, and to plan things ahead. To be able to uh, go to the next level, right? So and yeah, I'm also like practicing something, detoxing myself from too much of social media. And in today's modern world, we're like so attached to our phones. As soon as we wake up, the first thing in the morning, what we do, we just grab our phone and we just scroll through. And I think that is really, really, really unhealthy, right? So, but then I've had these nice experiences too, because I did some experiment during morning. You know I deliberately, like, put my phone aside, and I'll just let, even if I'm awake in the morning, what I do is I don't look at my phone, and I just let my brain to to process, to think. And it feels really good when you are keeping yourself away from your phone. I mean, first thing in the morning, and allowing your brain to function naturally, function properly, and things start to align very well. And whatever you are planning for the day, everything aligns. And the day doesn't isn't messy. The entire day isn't messy because you made sure that the first thing in the morning that you did was some mental work, allowing your brain to do its natural mental work, right? So I think that is one thing that we really need to take care of. Just don't allow yourselves to be like tied to your phones, tied to social media and all this stuff. There should always be a balance, and we should, especially in today's modern world, where we are exposed to so many gadgets, especially gadgets that are connected to the internet. So everything is in the palm of our hands, man. I mean, we don't even need to go anywhere, and we can, like, we can witness so many things. I mean, it's in a way it's good, but if we if we use it too much, it becomes, if we use it in excess, then it's bad. It's bad for our natural biological bodies and brains, you know so that is one thing that we need to keep in mind. As soon as we wake up, let it be natural, let it be, let your brain just work in its natural way. I find, if I do this, I get to be like, more productive and more creative in the things that I do. Maybe you're having a goal to learn something new, like, maybe start writing songs, start you know practicing singing songs and stuff. So if you allow yourself to be indulging in too much of the internet and social media and your phone early in the morning, so it, all of your goals and your dreams, they shatter, because your brain has already had all this reward of enjoying uh enjoying what you are keeping in front of your eyes, the screens and everything. So that is, you know in that is one really big issue in today's world. We have to make sure that we are not like glued to our screens, and to break this addiction, whatever kind of addiction we need to break it, right? That is not good for our mental health as well as our physical health. So, and after doing some planning, some writing in the morning, then I got up and I cleaned my house and um, did some design work, and I got uh, I got to read this book that I got today. It's about design, and I got so inspired, and I started working on an original design, and I was spending around 4.5 hours in that design. So, but then the one good thing is I was fasting the entire time while doing my work, and I was able to break my fast till evening at around, it, I think it's around, let me think, 4:30, 4:30 or 5, or I think it's almost 6, right? Yeah, yeah, almost 7 p.m. I was able to break my fast, and while breaking my fast also, I'm happy because because of this storm experiment, I'm able to keep my diet very clean. So I broke my fast with some bananas, and then some fruits, and then I went on to cook some lentils, no oil recipes obviously, and just put in the very natural spices like onions and garlic and ginger and pink salt and turmeric, and cook some soya chunks with some tomatoes. That also is an oilless recipe, and I'm really happy. I feel like this accomplishment, this achievement, each and every day uh, when I remind myself of how my diet, it's very clean, and you know your body is thanking you, and you feel the body is blessing you, okay, with all the good vibes and good health and all this stuff. And I just feel so thankful to God. I know that He's the one who guided me to take up this experiment, right? This journey, so that maybe He might be wanting to use me to inspire you, okay, uh, to start this journey. If you're having any kind of health condition, food addiction, food problem, or you're not happy with how you always feel weak, so you can follow me on this journey, and just do this, not for anyone, but do it for yourself. um Why I call this the storm experiment is because, you know I want to call myself storm, because in life there are many storms that we have to face, right? So, and we cannot run away from storms, we have to face them head on. So to be able to overcome the storm, we have to become the storm, right? So that is why uh, I call uh, this channel storm. Okay, so days of storm, because you know each and every day we are trying to become the storm. We are trying to make ourselves stronger, not just physically but also mentally, uh, uh, you know strengthening our control for for addictions, for food addictions, for all this, things that we have been bombarded with, the highly processed foods that are so delicious, so yummy, but when you come to know about the truth, what they are doing to your body, you don't feel like eating them anymore. So it is true when you think about the saying that the truth shall set you free, right? So this is what it is. This is I want to I want to share this truth um of what is happening now in the world, like, especially when it comes to uh people being fooled by these profit driven companies who prepare these products that are not actually food in the first place. you know these products are like they're packaged inside a plastic, and they don't spoil easily because there's a lot of chemicals and preservatives that have been added to this, because if they spoil easily, then these companies will go into a loss, right? So they will lose money, they will lose profits, and they don't want to be losing money, right? So what they'll do, they'll try to add something into these products, for them to have a longer shelf life, and so that they can sell them, like, maybe if they cannot sell it in a day, they can sell it in a week. It won't spoil, and if they cannot sell it in a week, they can sell it in a month, or maybe 6 months, or even a year, or 2 years. It's insane. So but when you look at the natural food, mostly all natural food, they spoil easily. They disintegrate very easily, and those are the kind of foods, the natural foods, that are good for our body, right? So because we tend to have them fresh, and we get to enjoy all the nutrients, out of fresh foods and fruits and vegetables and plants. So but then, most of us, we are so busy with our lives, with our work, behind, chasing behind money, and to be able to feed our families and ourselves and all these things, and we don't have time to think about ourselves, to think about our health, until one day, it just brings us down. We just fall sick, and we we are forced to take medications on a regular basis. That is when we start to think, and to start to analyze ourselves. What are we doing wrong? So I created this channel because I want to be that, I want to be that messenger, for people who have gone through something like I had gone through in the past. I was so involved with my work, especially me who is doing a lot of work in the computer. I sit in the computer the whole day. I don't have time, uh, to um, to take care of myself. So when I'm hungry, I just grab whatever. It's easy for me to eat. Mostly, I end up eating like junk food and fast food, and eventually, uh, my body you know starts to weaken, and because it's not getting the proper nutrients, the proper natural food, right? So I start to become more and more sick, and I have to visit to have, like, constant doctor visits from time to time, and I have to take these medications and everything. And you know I came to a point where, like, I was like, enough is enough, right? I don't want to be like this. I don't want to feel like this, to feel weak all the time, to feel sick all the time. And so I took time, and I made I did some research, looking into, like, what's happening to me, what's happening to my body, why am I overweight, why I cannot lose weight easily. And while doing all this research and practicing what I have learned, I was able to lose the weight that I wanted to lose. And my body started to grow stronger, and uh, you know my body was telling me to keep on upgrading itself, from one kind of movement to another kind of movement. Because why? Because I'm taking proper care of my body, and I'm monitoring it, and monitoring what is going inside of it, especially. you know so what I always say is, like, you have to think about what kind of fuel you are putting inside of this engine, right? So if you're putting the wrong kind of fuel, the low quality fuel, then that is what you will get. You will get a low quality outcome, right? So you need to make sure that your whatever you are putting inside of your body, it should be high quality. And it's not it's not as complicated as it's out. It's actually much more simple, to live this way, because the only food that you need are foods that are close to nature, right? Natural food. So veggies and fruits and legumes and nuts and seeds, and high fiber grains, rice. So and you just need to avoid, like, what I always say, at the start of every video: uh, seed oils, then meat, then uh, food with no animal products, and highly processed foods. Okay, so a little bit about seed oils. Why am I avoiding seed oils? Because seed oils are not occurring naturally, in nature. They have been extracted from seeds, right? And that is why they have so much of calories. Like, a spoonful of seed oil has so much of calories. Why? Because you need this much of seeds to get this much of oil, right? So imagine, like, having this much of seed, like, chewing it with your own mouth. You won't be able to do that, right? Because it's a whole lot of quantity. And but then, you know because of these modern machines and everything, we are able to, like, extract out of this much of seed. We are able to extract this much of oil, a little bit of oil. But then it is condensed with, a high amount of calories, right? So, So that is why seed oils are like are very dangerous, because you tend to eat more of them because it has very less quantity, but then it has a lot of calories, right? So it's very easy to ingest so much of calories because just because the quantity is so less. So, and plus, you know the human body does not recognize, uh I think it does not recognize oil, seed oils, because these were meant to be ingested along with the seeds, because the seeds have fiber, right? And this in turn, like, it helps the body to not ingest too much of calories. And so that is one thing about seed oils. And why am I not taking meat anymore? It's you know I've seen, like, you know now in the city and everything, the meat that you're getting, uh it's being fed with a lot of antibiotics, so that these animals, they won't fall sick easily. So they are given like 3 to 4 kinds of antibiotics. And these antibiotics, if you are eating the meat from these animals, you are indirectly ingesting all these antibiotics. And you know that is not good, right? I mean, you were not meant to eat all these antibiotics that these animals are eating. And uh, if these animals are like, grass fed and raised naturally, like in a you know in a big farm where they are able to move around, you know naturally, live their lives naturally, then eating this kind of meat doesn't affect the body much, right? So that is why I'm not eating meat, because uh, I cannot imagine myself, looking at all those chickens who are just like, they are like slaves inside these cages and everything, and for the whole day, and they're like pooping there itself, in eating there itself, and the smell and everything. I mean, I cannot imagine myself to be eating that, to put that into my mouth, right? So because the way these animals are being raised right now, it's all for commercial benefit, right? Just for people to get profit out of them, not keeping, like, the health of the consumers in mind, right? So, and these sellers, they cannot afford these animals to fall sick. So, to keep them from falling sick, they need to be giving them all these antibiotics. And you know as someone who doesn't want to take medication, right? Who's free from medications because of the lifestyle that I'm living now. I don't want to take indirect medications, like, from these animals who are being fed all these antibiotics and everything. So that's why I'm not willing to eat meat. I'm not willing to eat animal based food products. And finally, the highly processed foods. Now we've already, like, talked about this. They have a really long shelf life because they have so much of preservatives and chemicals. And these foods are not even like, they don't occur naturally in the uh, you know in the earth, right? And these have been manufactured to uh, to taste a certain way, so that consumers will keep on wanting them. And I think these companies, they are putting in additives and everything, so we tend to want to eat these foods again and again. So, but you know you feel like these foods are really tasty and everything, but at what cost? At the cost of actually losing your health after, after years and years of eating these kind of food, these kind of highly processed foods, right? So I feel like there's no use. You are working so hard, you are saving up, your money, and you are earning, and just like 5 or 10 years down the line, all that you have earned, you now have to throw it away in your medicines in the hospitals. Uh, it doesn't make sense, right? I mean, like, you want a life that when you retire, you'll be able to enjoy all this hard earned money, right? To be able to do the things that you've always wanted to do. Maybe you want to go on a vacation, maybe you want to spend more time with your kids or your grandkids, you to play with them and everything. But if your body is not healthy, if your body is not strong, it's not well, then you cannot do any of these things. And to make it worse, whatever money you have to give it to, the doctors, and to the pharmaceutical companies, and to the hospitals. So that is why, investing in yourself is the most important kind of investment. Investing in your health, investing in, the research of, to find out like what is good and what is bad, what is good for you, for your body. So these are the kind of investments that are much more beneficial for your life, right? So that whenever you reach a point in your life where, you finally get to rest, get to, sit back, get to uh, enjoy this life, you have to make sure that you have that strong body, that strong mental and physical body, right? To be able to enjoy the rest of your life. So and also for me, like, I've taken this experiment, this journey, as a way of me, thanking God for this life, for this body that He has given me. A way of me serving Him by taking care of myself, and spreading this message to others as well. We need to take care of this temple, right? It's the temple of the Holy Spirit, and we need to make sure that this temple is clean, right? So we should not allow profit driven companies, systems, to to attack this body, for their benefit, for getting money and everything, and making us eat all that stuff that was only meant for their greed, right? So as a creation of God, I mean, we have to think about that. We have to think about what is right and what is wrong, and uh, knowing that, you know to to be investing in something that companies have made only for their greed, only for the profit, and not for your well-being, and not for your health. I mean, that is truly wrong, right? They don't care about, this perfectly designed body. They don't care about that. They just care about their profits and their money and everything. So we need to think about these kind of things, right? So yeah, so this kind of lifestyle is also a way of me, to serve God and to serve humankind, to serve the people, and to let them know about, you know we have the power, right? We have to take back control of our lives, because God has given us not the spirit of fear, but the spirit of power, right? So the spirit of self-control. So we need to, to strengthen that spirit, and to take back control of our lives, of ourselves, of our bodies, and to feed it with all the goodness of God, right? Or whatever God has given us is perfectly designed for us, and it's not man-made, it's God-made. So we need to chase after what God has created, not after what man has created, right? So man does not know the human body as God knows. So God knows what's good for us, so that's why he has given us all these, you know vegetables and fruits and plants to eat. So so yeah, that's the message for today, and I think that'll be it for today. And once again, thank you so much for for watching and for being with me on this journey, on this experiment. And I hope you have a great night ahead. Take care of yourselves, eat well, sleep well, be happy, be thankful to God, pray, and may God bless you. Thank you so much, and I'll be seeing you back again tomorrow. Okay, bye bye.